It is another edition of Offside brought to you by Arsenal Fans Beat. Today we're going to be looking at two critical issues concerning Manchester United. A lot of things are happening in the club, and just need to look at what is happening. One of them is when player serves you well. I think the best thing you do to the player is to offer him a good contract, or rather, you keep the player in the club. And the other one has to do when you don't have money and you have an opportunity to cash in on a marquee player in order to generate revenue. Then, what do you do? Now, we all know that United aren't going to be in any competition in Europe. They're not in Europa League, they're not in Champions League, they're not even in the least Conference League. I'm sorry, this United team. Anyways, it is what it is. I'm not here to banter, but I'm just here to say the fact. I'm calling all United fans. Come and make your voice count here. Let us know what your views are. Now, Bruno Fernandes has been issued a 72-hour ultimatum. Either he takes the contract from Al Mla of Saudi Arabia or he forgets about it forever. If you are Bruno Fernandes, what would you do? Now, before I ask you that question, the other question I want to ask you is, why does footballers play football? Aside from loving the beautiful game, it is to take care of their family members and enjoy the extravagant life that life has to offer. Going to posh hotel, driving posh cars, dressing so smart. So if you don't have the money, how do you perform all those stuff? So now, he's been offered the opportunity to live like a king. They're offering £200 million for 3 years. Something United in this world will never offer him. And he's going to be earning about £700,000 a week. Wow. That is like tripling the amount he's currently earning at United, £280,000. If you are Bruno Fernandes, what would you do? If you ask me, I wouldn't even think twice. I would just say, bring the paper, close my eyes, sign the dotted lines once. But it is what it is. Some players want to remain in the Premier League because of that caveat. Premier League is the best in the world and it gives you the competition, or rather the platform to be among the best. What is the essence of being among the best when there is no duty to spend? You need this. You need to take care of family members, dependents, do all stuff you want to do. So, if you look at players like Ronaldo that decided to ditch other league and go to Saudi Arabia, isn't it dummy? And there are other players too that have gone to Saudi league and they're earning well. And if you ask me, when you're playing in the Saudi league, you're not going to be getting injured anyhow because you're not going to be stressing yourself too much. You're just going to play with some level of, panache, enjoy yourself. I don't know. It is what it is. I know United fans really want to lose Bruno Fernandes. If you ask me, for United Ineos owner Jim Ratcliffe, now you've decided to sack 450 staff, backroom staff, that are not affected in any way. These staffs are hungry, they've got dependents. You just cost them their job for nothing because you feel you want to cut down on costs in order to take the club forward. Now, this is an opportunity for you to take the club forward by taking that money. £200 million will do you a lot of good in the transfer market because you didn't earn from the Premier League. What are you going to earn from the Premier League for ending the season 16th position is nothing, and you're being earned. I think, okay, probably you earned getting into the finals of Europa, but that money is nothing as compared to other club sides. So if you ask me, it's an opportunity for you to cash in on the player that is already 30. Bruno Fernandes is 30. So if he's going to offer you anything, it's going to be in the next 2 years. Why not just cash in on him? It's a big money buy for you. So this is between United and Bruno Fernandes. When they asked Bruno Fernandes recently, he said it's left for United to either cash in on the opportunity to sell him to Saudi side or that he's still willing to stay in the club. And begin to think something. The guy is trying to play smart because nobody will be giving that amount of money and the person will say no, that I don't want. So he doesn't want a situation where you find himself in the same situation that Alexander-Arnold found himself in Liverpool when he announced that, yes, I'll be going to Madrid because he's happy. Every player wants to play for Madrid. In fact, let's watch what Jurgen Klopp said recently about.
With 18 years old, he scored a free kick in Hoffenheim. If he doesn't score that, we don't qualify for the Champions League. In the game against Barcelona, he did the most cheeky thing in the world and set up a goal for a 4-0, which a result in a game which will never happen again. I don't tell you you should not be disappointed, you should not be angry. I tell you, don't forget. Don't forget, this club doesn't forget. We are famous for not forgetting. We don't forget anything. We don't forget the good thing and we don't forget the bad thing, but we ignore the bad things and we remember the good things and improve as a group with that. And I tell you what, and that's now my thing, and I watched a lot of games, and I watched the game when he came on, and I heard the booing, and I said I'm old, so it might be my hearing, and I switched on the volume. That's booing. I needed another 10 seconds to realize it and switch the telly off, because I honestly, I couldn't have been more disappointed in this moment. This is not us, 100% not. Be angry, don't understand it, whatever. This boy gave, and I was there.
And so the fans are booing. So he wouldn't want that. That's why he plays smart and say it is left for Jim Rattle to either accept or allow him to be in the club. So let me know what your take is, because that money is going to help United in a huge way to get multiple players in, especially when you're going to be letting go these players: Harry Maguire, Antonio Dos Santos, Kobe Mino, Jadon Sancho, and the likes of them, Alexandro Garnacho. So how do you replace these players? These are key players for you. So how do you replace them? So you need the money. So the Saudi clubs that have come to your aid by offering you big money. So it's left for you, United, to either accept the idea of taking the money, sell off Bruno Fernandes, and buy more players. Now, the other point that has come to my mind when I decided to do this video is that I feel that United are very ungrateful. Ungrateful in the sense that when you look at the way players like Harry Maguire sat the club, the captain, you stripped of the captain's band, unfold, and yet the guy gave his all, even when the fans were crying down. At a point, he happened to be one of the key strikers for United this season, scoring goals for them. And all of a sudden, you're putting in the market. I don't think that is right. And look at players like Alessandro Garnacho. He grew up with the likes of Elanga. These were players that were carrying United on their shoulders as young academy players. And suddenly you feel he's not good enough. My take is this. Alessandro Garnacho, yes, is a good player. Sometimes he overplays the ball, he overplays the pass. There's a player that needs a coach to put his arm around his neck or his shoulder and say, you can do this. And show him nitty-gritty of the things that he's not doing well. The situation where you want to offload him, I feel that is not good enough. Talk about Kobe Mino. Kobe Mino busted into the scene as an academy player, and yet he found himself in the Euro team, and he played remarkably well for England. And yet all of a sudden, you think it's not good enough. I don't know. So, United fans, just like I said, gather here and make your points count. Do you think Ruben Amorim is right in asking players like this? Harry Maguire, Kobe Mino, Alessandro Garnacho. And you also saw that when Antonio Dos Santos left England for Spain, he became a reborn player. He gave his all. In 2 matches, he won Man of the Match award. It means there's something wrong, something unique that affects the players in Old Trafford. Don't you think you guys need to look inward? Just like I said in one of my videos, I said, look, this guy's nemesis is catching up on you guys, and the karma is real. Because the way the guys at Old Trafford treat players, I don't think it's good. I don't think it's right. They don't treat players right. Now, you see, Onana too is one of the players that are going to be needed and they are crying down Onana. Anyways, it is what it is. I've just made my point clear. In the next 72 hours, which is going to end on Thursday, we will know whether United will be bold enough to say, no, you are captain, Bruno Fernandes, you ain't leaving, was sticking with it. Or they'll say, look, you need to be the sacrificial lamb to go so that we'll make money. I recall those days, Arsenal used to do it now when they don't have money. So the likes of Kolo Toure to Man City, so that Adebayor, so the what's his name, Nasri. We sold the Clichy because we needed money to offset our bill. And we did it. We had to suffer for it. So that is what we call a club that's got balls. Does United have the ball? Show us. Do you have the balls? Show us if you have the balls by selling Bruno Fernandes. Until then, don't forget that this is the offside. Just keep it tight, keep sharing, keep liking, keep subscribing, and let us build this community together.